prevail in the fact that the city has always given us this money. Now they want to take it away?
Nina, I wish that I could say that that would be the case. Of course, we're not dealing with a contract. We're dealing with the charter, and we have to parse it and look at when you're looking at a charter, it's the words of the document first. And if you think the words of the document don't reflect what the intent was, or if you think there's ambiguity, we look at the legislative history. And what we're all trying to do, it's like a treasure hunt. We're trying to find out the best interpretation, the most relevant interpretation of the words. And it's an interesting argument to say, well, what we've been doing therefore becomes what we need to do on a going forward basis. But one of the things about government is it's designed to be mobile. It's designed to be able to change and conform to new circumstances. And Lordy, we have a set of circumstances right now that none of us want to conform to, but we're gonna work together to find a way.
I was actually referring to the comment that Dennis Hine said that there were no provisions for neighborhood councils to get money. So I was wondering if course of performance would establish that yes, we are supposed to be getting that money.
I'm going to refer you back to the charter. I think that's where we're all going to find the answer.
Hi, my name is Richard McNaughton. I've been a resident of Hollywood about 40 years and an attorney for about 35 years. And there's one thing I'd like to make a comment about in terms of your explanation of your role and the city attorney's role, which I think I understand quite well. It's very simple. You represent the city, and you do not represent the amorphous public, but particular entities in the city, such as the mayor and the city council when they get sued. And in order to be honorable, as you said you are, and I think you are being, you cannot give us the downside or the weaknesses of those positions. Your rules of ethics require you to give the best and full faith to your client, which is the city and what they want to do. So what we hear here is like a trial in a way, but where only one side gets to speak, and there really isn't another equally informed advocate for the general public. And I just think that people should understand that, and that you are being perfectly honorable in only giving the city's position, but there really is 2, 3, 4, or maybe 5 different positions on all these legal issues. Thank you.
So Richard's made some valid points, but remember, very interesting role of a city attorney who represents each and every department and elected officer in office. So, for example, the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment is a client and is entitled to come to the city attorney and ask answers to questions, just as the mayor would be, the council, and so forth. And we will answer those questions. Richard, where'd you go? I'm sorry?
Neighborhood council is a client?
Very good. I was asked whether neighborhood councils are a client. The way we think about it is that the board and the general manager are your voice. So if you are a client, and to the extent you are a client, that is the neighborhood councils, your voice relative to the city attorney, your questions for the city attorney, exercise them by forwarding them through your general manager or your board of neighborhood commissioners. And the reason for that, Dan, would be so that we can distinguish the client's question from the general public's question. It is difficult. Another alternative I would offer to you is if your neighborhood council board wants to take action to ask a question, that would also be a method you could use. But what I'm trying to do is distinguish an individual board member or an individual citizen or activist question, which would not be a client question, from the client's question.
One more? Hi, Michael Cohen, Reseda. You just mentioned during your initial presentation that you or the department advise ways to fulfill the mayor's objectives. You look at the statutes, you look at the city charter, and how can we implement that? Isn't that immediately almost biased, as opposed to your initial expression that you try to be unbiased? But I'll ask you a direct question in just a second. Since now we have, potentially, I don't know if it's risen to the legal status yet, of a conflict between what we see as two city departments, or the mayor's office and St. Donors and NC's, would it not be better to get an outside opinion, kind of like what happened with the, the Laura chick? Hopefully it won't rise to that kind of a disaster again. But since your objective is to implement the mayor's plan and to find ways of doing that, are we actually going to get the fair hearing that we deserve?
So Michael, let me try it like this. The mayor has come to us with questions. The council has come to us with questions. I will tell you that at this point, I do not believe that your GM or your board have come to us with questions. If they were to come to us with questions, we would oblige them with straight up answers. So, and taking Larry and the mayor out of it so that he can be off the hot seat for a nanosecond, let's imagine, come on, let's name some department that you all love to beat up on, or let's name a really benign department. If the Department of Disability came to us and said, can we do X? It isn't our job in the city attorney's office to parse through those questions we like, that we think might result in good policy, and only answer them. And to tell the asker of a question that we don't like, sorry, Buster, we're not answering that question. We don't like what it portends. That isn't the way it's done. We'll answer the question.
Last question.
Thank you,
Hey, Dee Dee, good to
Hi.
see you.
Good to see you too. I know that you folks are overcome with a lot of work down there, but I want to bring up the issue.
Dee Dee, can I stop you?
Anytime.
Thank you. You guys, I really wish I could tell you about an entirely different matter that the city attorney's office is working on. I mean, we have some unbelievably aggressive lawyers doing some amazing things. So for those of you who want to break at the end and go on the terrace, let's chat. But Dee Dee, I had to get in that public service announcement.
Good thing, too. Okay. In regard to Section 907, early warning system, land use and planning has come along, and it's been very, very helpful to the neighborhood councils. However, pretty much everything else, we've had to dig ourselves, put in a lot of time and effort to get the information on which to make good decisions. So far as I know, now I don't know everything, and there's a heck of a lot I don't know. Is there any effort on the part of this city to provide that early warning system that is provided for in the charter?
So Dee Dee, I'm your wrong customer to give you an answer, but I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, when I was the president of the Planning Commission, being able to advance the early warning system as it related to land use matters. Feel really good, as you pointed out, about how far that's come. Our neighborhood couldn't keep abreast without those monthly, is it monthly or bi-monthly packages? Bi-monthly notices and packages. We just couldn't keep up, and those are absolutely invaluable.
Well,
But I'm your wrong customer to tell you how to make it work with the other departments, but they need something like that. It's fantastic.
well, just wanted to make you aware that I'm thinking about it.
Okay, good, excellent.
Excellent. So let's give Jane a big round of applause.